Hi, this is Aubrey Chauke. I'm a tutor for accounting, business studies, EMS, as well as research. I'm also a professional teacher. If you're watching this, you're definitely at the right place. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your bottom right. And once you've done that, you can definitely leave your comments on the comment section. And you can also send us the suggestions at the email that will be shown at the end of this video. With that being said, let's get into the business of the day. Tonight, I want to talk about something which is very important. I want to talk about the reasons why I chose to be a teacher. Back then, when I was doing my first grade, I was the type of a student who was very slow, so I struggled a lot to understand things, and I felt that teachers at that time were impatient with me. I couldn't ask questions. I didn't understand what was going on. It was a new environment. I was not used to people, and sometimes when you don't understand things, teachers look at you in a way that is so different. They look at you as if there is something wrong with you. And because I went through that, it encouraged me to say, you know what, I also want to make a difference in lives of other students. And I started doing that by doing tutorials. Like I said, that I'm also the founder of Tutor. So I established that institution to make sure that I will be helping learners who went through the same experience as me. And I came to realize the importance of teachers. Each and every one of us was at some point in life affected by a teacher. So it's very important that we look at teachers with respect and respect the profession. If you had a teacher who supported you when you were in school, you are very blessed. It's not all learners who get to experience that. And fortunately for me, when I was in grade 1, after I failed, I experienced a lot of support from the teachers, and that helped me to progress into the next grade. And I believe that I'm the testimony. I'm the reason why you should believe that having failed in life doesn't have to define you. Having failed in school doesn't have to define you. I failed my first grade, but if I were to tell you today that I'm holding several qualifications, all of them with cum laude, you will not believe me. So many people that I was going to school with back then in the olden days, when they look at me, they still see me as that guy, Ola Okilen Afela, but that wasn't really important to me. The most important thing for me was to be able to come out of those shells, was to be able to come out of that pit of limitation. And I'm so grateful to God that He gave me the opportunity to come out. I was able to learn the learning strategies that were suitable for me, and because of that, I was able to grow in my academics. And all this is through the help of my teachers, which is why I chose to be a teacher, because I want to make a difference. I want to be able to touch lives of different learners. When you are a teacher, you are a person who impacts the world. You are a person who builds people. You are a person who helps people to be able to realize their future. So which is why I chose to say, you know what, I want to make a difference. I want to be a teacher. I'm currently a qualified teacher and looking for those teaching opportunities. So if you know anything, any post that has to do with EMS and business studies, FET and senior phase, holla at me. I'm your teacher. And another thing that I want to talk about is my teaching practice experience. Fortunately for me, I was so blessed to have teachers who were so supportive, who took me under their wings to guide me, and they offered me support. The only bad thing I think about my teaching practice was that it was obviously done during the COVID period. So think about the pressure. We are not that familiar with COVID, and we are very scared at that point. When you go to school, you expose yourself to risk. We don't know what's going to happen, but unfortunately, the department was able to come up with ways that we can be able to follow to be safe from COVID. And I met a variety of students. I met students who come from diverse backgrounds. I met students with different cognitive levels. I met students whom sometimes you had to explain to them in their home languages for them to be able to understand. And through that, I was able to implement what we call inclusive education, the kind of education that caters for each and every student. And my teaching practice experience, although there were times where things were hard, it was very incredible, honestly. Like, those students were always challenging me. They were asking questions, and which is one of the things that made me to really enjoy my teaching practice. And I also met some teachers who were not that older than me, who did their teaching practices before me, and they also shared their experiences with me, which kind of helped me to be able to prepare my things in time and be able to submit whatever that was necessary to be submitted. And I also had support from my former teachers from my high school, Miss Adam and Mr. Gegana and Mr. Mahasha. And Mr. Mahasha is actually one of those teachers who was always encouraging me to go for teaching, but if for some reason, I don't know why, I didn't go for it. My first degree was in management, but at least now I'm in the field. I'm joining the big bosses to make a difference in the academic institution. And also through my teaching practice, I realized that teachers really do a lot of work. They really have a lot to do within a short period of time. I noticed that there were some learners by they don't do their homeworks, and then they expect to understand, and at the end of the day, the department and parents will be blaming the teachers. Being a teacher is very hard. When things go wrong, you are blamed. But we have to soldier on and move on. Another thing that I want to talk about is the challenges of being a teacher. When you're a teacher, you meet learners from different backgrounds, and all of them have different needs, and you have to find a way to be able to accommodate those learners. You have to find a way to make them to feel comfortable with your teaching style, and you have to find a teaching style that is suitable for all those learners. You also have to explain things to them in a way that they are able to relate, and it was really very challenging, and sometimes there will be learners who are absent. Next time when you come back and you teach a particular topic they don't understand, then you have to go back and explain again to them, and some of them, like, they will be ill-mannered, they won't be respecting. It was just chaos. But that's where classroom management comes in. I was able to develop some skills with the advice of the principals and everyone, to be able to learn how to manage the classroom. Like they said, it is from challenges that where we grow. Without such challenges, we cannot grow. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the lessons that I learned. I learned that as a teacher, you need to be able to love your learners, irrespective of where they come from. You need to be able to love all of them and respect all of them. You need to show support to these learners. In English, they say all learning is understanding relationships. So without understanding relationships with these particular learners, we cannot be able to teach them. Helping them to learn starts with building a relationship with them. I hope this short video will help you to understand how my teaching practice and everything was for me. And by the way, compliments of the new season. Please continue to stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Follow us on the social media platforms that will be displayed at the end of this video, and don't forget to send us your suggestions. Stay blessed.